open up some of that cloud cover for you and get into the sunshine. Your temperatures are going to warm up a couple to 4 degrees or so. So we'll go 2 to 4 degrees, 60s and some more 60s once you get in the Bay Area. Upper 60s looking in Mountain View. Once you touch into San Jose, though, you get into around 70 degrees. Upper 60s for Morgan Hill and Gilroy. 69 in Hollister for you with clear to partly cloudy skies. Now, once you get down to the Salinas Valley, we get into 67 degrees here. Upper 60s again continue to follow through Gonzales, Soledad, and then we warm you up into Greenfield and King City at 70 degrees there. And how about this on the peninsula? You're going to see those temperatures from 63 in PG, a little bit cooler. Some cooler air is going to be slipping down along the coast with winds eventually changing to the south, east and south. So we're going to see some warming and maybe a little bit of fog actually developing in Carmel by the sea. But you'll be about 65 degrees to 69 in Carmel Valley. And then once those winds start coming in from the southeast, we'll begin to clear it out with those offshore winds. 67 in Ben Lomond, getting into 68 once you get into Boulder Creek. But the beach is looking pretty good. Some 60s around Santa Cruz, getting up to 68 in Wattsville, about 67 degrees. Then we get into tonight. We'll make those winds variable. So we'll call them about, we're going to go from southwest to southeast again with winds getting up to 20 miles per hour. Clear to partly cloudy skies for you and cool temperatures. So you might want to bundle up the kids with a sweater, something like that. Nothing really too much to cover up the costume. You know, Ma, don't do that to me. 45 to 50, we're looking for your overnight temperatures for you. And then once we get into the morning time, we may see a little patchy fog because the skies are going to clear. So a chance to get some starlight out there, some moon, that little spooky moon kind of sneaking in between the clouds there.
Yeah, very nice though for trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Good deal. That'd be great.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Art. There's so much more to come this morning in Action News Sunrise. Well, if you plan on dressing up your pet, we do. You're not alone. Just how much Americans plan on spending on their pets this Halloween. And a surprising new shift in holiday shopping timelines. We're right back with your business news and much more coverage you can count on. Welcome back. Business news now. There may be fewer last-minute shoppers this holiday season. More Americans are expected to begin their holiday shopping Thanksgiving weekend as opposed to early December. That's according to findings by one research firm. Now, a surprising 30% of people plan to start holiday shopping early compared to only 14% in years past. This will be the first year such drastic shift toward shoppers' spending timelines. Well, it's Halloween and millions of pets across the country will be dressing up in costume too. According to the National Retail Federation, 16% of Americans plan to dress up their pets in Halloween costumes this year. We certainly do. And they'll spend around $440 million on that trend. Most popular pet costumes, pumpkins and hot dogs.
Hot dog. That's clever.
Huh. All right, Lauren. And there is much more ahead this morning on Action News Sunrise, coming up at the top of the next half hour.
3 men with ties to the Trump campaign face charges in the Russia investigation. I'm Mike Diaz in Washington. How the president and the White House are responding.
But first, when we come back, why some landlords now requiring tenants to have renters insurance. We're right back with much more coverage you can count on from KSPW Action News Sunrise. Sunrise time now 5:26 on the Consumer Watch this morning. A lot more people are renting instead of buying their homes these days. But according to experts, they're forgetting to buy the one thing that protects what they own inside their home. Details from Action News reporter Chris Clackham.
The spike in apartment construction is more evidence that the trend of Americans renting rather than buying a home continues, especially among millennials.
50% of renters are below the age of 30.
Renting's also resurrected the debate to buy or not to buy renters insurance.
It's so important to understand what the benefits of renters insurance are, and then to also understand what the risk is if you go without it.
For Laura Adams at insurancequotes.com, there is no debate.
The problem with not having renter's insurance and sort of assuming that the landlord is going to take care of you if you get into legal trouble or you have a natural disaster, the problem with that is that their insurance never covers you.
She argues personal possessions and personal liability inside your rental aren't worth risking for $16 a month.
But the average cost of a renter's premium across the nation is less than $200. It's actually $190.
Although there's no law, she says more landlords are requiring renters to carry renter's insurance.
Chris Clackham reporting for us this morning.
And your sunrise time 5:28, and we are turning back to Art on this Halloween morning.
I want to put on the monster mask. I just want to turn on my computer and just start.
That's
it's
what we need, a little monster mask
Playing through your head, yeah.
Yeah, let's get a little spooktacular here, man. Skycam 8, we have Santa Cruz. It is a mild, yeah, that's a little orange, it's black. We got some nice little Halloween costume colors going on right there as well. It's a mild morning out there. In fact, look at that. Ooh, if you start off this morning, you're going to see temperatures from 45 to 60 degrees once we get into the late morning hours as well. Afternoon, you're expecting a little bit of sunshine coming in early for Santa Cruz County, opening up to the Monterey Peninsula. So we'll call it clear to mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures from 60 to 70 degrees. We're bumping up the temperatures about 2 to 4 degrees if you're just tuning in. And then we get into the evening hours, you're going to see those numbers getting into about 57 to 67 degrees. So enough to maybe put a little sweater on for the kiddos once they're out and about. And right now we're backing off the drizzle for tonight because we're going to try to clear you out a little bit. We will have some southerly winds coming in, so that means we could possibly have a southerly surge along the coast. So expect today coast side morning overcast, patchy fog, sunny for most, and temperatures in the 60s from the low to upper 60s. On the inland side, you're going to see more of the same. Morning overcast giving way to sunshine with temperatures reaching up to 70 degrees. How about this though? High pressure to low pressure. We're clearing out the clouds along the coastline, just kind of scouring it out from Point Reyes all the way down through the Golden Gate Bridge, still holding on to patchy fog all the way into the inland areas as well, getting to the Central Valley. But eventually we're going to move that out of the way. We open this up a little bit to sunshine for the Santa Cruz areas. The winds begin to turn from the south, from southeast and southwest. And eventually we're going to have more clearing coming into the area. And then those winds really start to pick up a little bit along the coast. We'll call it 10 to 20 miles per hour. Eventually we're going to get into some more of that cloudy activity once we get into tomorrow morning. Temperatures today, 60s on the board all the way from Big Sur up to Ben Lomond. We'll see 67 in Salinas. Temperatures for you touching 70 in San Jose, 70 in King City, and 69 in Carmel Valley. Good morning, Michelle. How's traffic looking?
Things starting out nice on the roadways this morning. If you're heading out on Highway 68 between Salinas and Monterey, it looks good. No problems there. The same can be said for the ride on Highway 101. Actually, if you're leaving Salinas on Highway 101, it looks good through the Salinas-Prunedale corridor all the way up into the Gilroy-Morgan Hill area. No problems there. Both sides of Highway 152 checking in clear. The Hecker, the Pacheco Pass, no problems for that ride. Let's take a look at the ride in Santa Cruz. Highway 1, the webcam at Morrissey Boulevard, heading out towards Highway 17. A great start there as well.
Your sunrise time 5:31 on this Tuesday morning.
And we turn now to news out of Washington and reaction pouring in after 3 Trump campaign associates named in the government's Russia investigation. 2 are under house arrest facing charges. A 3rd has pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI. Action News reporter Aixa Diaz is live in our First Washington newsroom now with the very latest. Aixa, good morning. Do with President Trump, but the 3 men facing legal trouble now did play some type of role in the Trump campaign. This morning, President Trump's former campaign manager Paul Manafort and Manafort's longtime business partner Rick Gates are under house arrest after pleading not guilty to 12 counts, including conspiracy against the U.S.
There is no evidence that Mr. Manafort or the Trump campaign colluded with the Russian government. The men are accused of acting as unregistered agents of the Ukrainian government, funneling millions of dollars through hidden offshore bank accounts. Meanwhile, former Trump campaign aide George Papadopoulos pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI about conversations he had with Russian officials who offered dirt on Hillary Clinton.
It's very compelling evidence that points toward collusion.
President Trump insists there was no collusion between his campaign and Russia. The White House defended the president after the charges became public on Monday.
Today's announcement has nothing to do with the president, has nothing to do with the president's campaign or campaign activity.
tweeting out this case, talking about Papadopoulos, calling him a low-level volunteer who has proven to be a liar. And he's also saying that there is no collusion, that the investigation into Manafort, the accusations in this indictment, are from years ago, before Manafort joined the Trump campaign. However, we do know some of the allegations in that indictment did take place in 2016, and that's when Manafort worked with the Trump campaign.
Right, Aixa. And how are lawmakers on Capitol Hill responding to these charges?
Well, reaction is coming in. The House returns to session today. The Senate came in late yesterday, and many lawmakers had not read the entire indictment, so didn't want to comment on it. But Democratic leader Chuck Schumer did say if President Trump intervenes with this investigation and prevents the special counsel from doing his work, Congress should get involved. Republican Lindsey Graham says if any campaign reaches out to Russia for assistance, that's a problem. And House Speaker Paul Ryan, when asked directly about this indictment, would not comment.
All right, Aixa, thank you. Live from our Hearst, Washington newsroom this morning. Now, the special counsel's office says the former campaign aide who pleaded guilty, George Papadopoulos, is now assisting the investigation as a proactive cooperator. In other news out of Washington this morning, the president's transgender military ban on hold for now. Monday, a judge ruled the ban injures and imposes inequality on transgender people. So this forbids the military from enforcing the president's directive to stop transgender people from enlisting or re-enlisting.
News across America, 6 states are interested in joining Hawaii's lawsuit to ban Trump's travel ban. California, Maryland, Massachusetts, New York, Oregon, and Washington all filed a motion Monday asking to be parties with Hawaii in the suit. Hawaii is challenging President Trump's order issued last month, targeting about 150 million potential travelers from 8 countries. Federal judge in Hawaii granted the state's request to block the ban from taking effect back in October. U.S. government is appealing that ruling. University of Utah issued a lockdown last night after one person was killed in a shooting. University issued the campus-wide alert around 9 Monday night, telling students and employees to shelter in place. Police are still searching for a suspect into the early morning hours Tuesday. Now, officers have not released any information about what may have led up to that shooting.
3, 2, 1, 0.
SpaceX successfully completed its 16th rocket launch of the year from Florida's Kennedy Space Center. The unmanned rocket lifted off Monday afternoon, carrying into orbit a communications satellite for a South Korean company. It will replace a failed satellite launch in 2006 and serve both Asia and the Middle East.
Sunrise time now 5:35. When we turn to news around the state, the death toll in the North Bay wildfires has now risen. 17-year-old Cressa Shepard died 3 weeks after she was severely burned in the Redwood Valley fire that tore through Mendocino County. Her 14-year-old brother also lost his life. Their parents remain hospitalized. Shepard's death raises the number of those killed in the October wildfires now to 43. Meantime, all Santa Rosa schools are back in session for the first time since those wildfires began. 11 schools reopened Monday and 13 others resumed class last Friday. Counselors are on campus to help students who may be having a tough time. Students missed 3 weeks in the classroom, but because of the disaster declaration, the schools are not required to add days to the calendar.
Your Sunrise time 5:36. Turning to the Crime Watch, a Monterey County couple is facing charges of looting and wildfire-ravaged neighborhood in Santa Rosa. Jonathan Connor and Christina Marsh were arrested over the weekend. Witnesses say they were loading up this Ford truck with stolen items from an apartment complex damaged in the Tubbs fire. Connor and Marsh are being charged with 5 felonies, including looting and identity theft. Man accused of starting the Bear Fire in the Santa Cruz Mountains is scheduled to be arraigned today. Marlon Coy is originally arrested last week for burglary and looting. On Friday, more felony charges were added, including arson. 3 men who were with Coy on October 16th say they saw him start the fire on Diane's Way in Boulder Creek. The Bear Fire led to 13 firefighters being injured and cost more than $7 million to fight.
A Santa Maria man is behind bars after hitting a police car and trying to run over officers. CHP officers tried to pull over 39-year-old Joshua Mitchell Sunday night. He led them on a short chase, then pulling into a parking lot on Capitola Avenue. Mitchell made a quick U-turn and took off toward a police car, hitting it head-on. He was treated for his injuries and booked into the Santa Cruz County Jail.
In Santa Cruz, those who live in the Sleep Tight motel are worried they'll soon be homeless. The city says the units aren't safe to live in. Motel on Ocean Street needs major upgrades, and all the units need electrical, plumbing work, and upgrades to the structure of the buildings. There have also been reports of some roaches in the units. Now, the owner of the building says he's been working with the city to make the upgrades in a way where there will be no one evicted in the process.
The last thing we want to do is for folks to be displaced, especially in the Santa Cruz housing market, being one of the most challenging in the country. So we're working really closely with them. They seem committed to it as well, and we want to see continued progress because it needs to be safe for people to live there.
The city says the buildings at the motel are almost 100 years old, and some of the repairs and upgrades should have happened at least 15 years ago.
Your sunrise time now 5:38, and we are turning over to Art. Good morning.
Good morning. We had some changes. We were expecting some patchy fog and drizzle to come in with our morning forecast here, but it's changed. We've dried out. Some winds coming right into the area have kept mostly cloudy conditions right now with limited cloud cover up to the north. In fact, it's all clearing out. This is what's going to happen for you. We get right into the forecast. Look at this. We start off in the morning with your Halloween forecast, 45 to 60 degrees, and then once we get into the afternoon, we're going to see those temperatures warming up to 70 degrees in some of our warmer spots. We're going to lose the cloud cover and get into the sunshine for you as well. Winds coming out of the south, and that means we're going to see some offshore flow, and that means some added warming today. Evening, we're going to see clear to partly cloudy skies. Eventually, you're going to see some of the coastal areas. I put in some extra clouds because we could have a southerly surge. So temperatures will be around 57 to 67 degrees. So we're going to warm it down as we go into the evening hours. So the kiddos should hold on to a sweater. Today, we're going to see eventually the morning overcast giving way to sunshine, and we'll see temperatures from 63 to 68 once we get from the coast all the way to the valleys as you can get into Salinas, the north end. Morning overcast for other locations in the mountains and the valleys. You're going to see afternoon sunshine again, and a good look at Halloween as I've mentioned. 67 to 70 your temperatures today. You can see all the clouds really started to pull away from Northern California. That's this area of low pressure that keeps just dragging it farther to the south and southeast. High pressure is bringing in some cooler air and just kind of drying this all out, and that is taking away our marine layer, just diminishing it, just kind of chipping away as we go along. We're going to see these winds eventually start to change up a bit. You're going to see those winds coming in from the northeast as well, coming back down from the north and from the south as this area of low pressure continues to work in. High pressure is going to hold on, keeping us fairly mild as we go into Thursday, and then Friday it all breaks down. We're going to see this little train kind of move right in with rainfall moving in from the southwest, guiding in. That'll be a little bit warmer rainfall for us. Good shower activity, light to heavy as we go into Saturday. That'll carry over into Sunday as well and extend into early Monday morning as isolated showers, we'll call it. We're going to see these clouds get out of the way once we get into the afternoon hours. Eventually, you're going to see those winds out of the south really starting to push it out. But then look down to the south by Big Sur. You're going to see more of that south wind come in and try to push the clouds back to Point Sur as well as into Point Pinos. Then eventually, we're going to go to partly cloudy skies tonight. Temperatures in the 60s today from the coast all the way to the mountains and into Salinas, Watsonville. You're going to see those numbers still holding on to upper 60s to near 70 degrees today. Let's go to Michelle with traffic.
Starting out nice this morning on the roadways. Really no accidents or stalls to tell you about if you are heading out early on Highway 17. A smooth ride leaving Santa Cruz, headed up and over the summit. A nice ride heading towards the Lexington Reservoir and then into the Los Gatos area. Highway 101 through the South County looks good. Greenfield, Soledad, Gonzales on up into South Salinas. Let's check out the ride. I believe we have Highway 101 at Main Street in Salinas. Both sides of Highway 101 there looking really nice this morning. You guys ready for Halloween tonight?
Ready. We're ready.
Got all kinds of candy.
Got the candy.
I'm in a new neighborhood this year, and I understand tons of kids come.
Oh, you better be ready.
Up? Yeah.
Oh my, yeah. Like the whole kitchen table there's a mound of candy on it.
Go to Michelle.
How are you not tempted?
And I had to sample. I had to sample them all.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, that's what I've been doing for a week
like,
now.
Oh, that's
like,
good.
Ooh.
Oh, I may have to save that bag for last.
Yeah, for last, exactly. It's not that you're not giving it out, it's just for last.
Testing.
Yeah.
Testing some of them.
Exactly.
Kids, right. All
All right,
thanks,
Michelle.
Michelle. There's so much more ahead this morning on Action News Sunrise. On the Health Watch, why doctors are sending a word of warning about lice this Halloween.
Plus, the latest health benefits of long-term aspirin use. That's all coming up next on your Health Watch. Sunrise time now 5:44 on the Health Watch this morning. Taking aspirin over a long period of time may actually reduce the risk of some cancers. A new study compared patients who'd been prescribed aspirin for at least 6 months with non-aspirin users. The aspirin group was significantly less likely to develop digestive cancers like liver, stomach, and colon cancers. They also had a lower risk of certain cancers outside the digestive system, like leukemia, lung, and prostate cancer. Now, of course, aspirin also comes with risks, so it is important to talk to your doctor before you begin aspirin therapy. Also on the Health Watch this morning, Halloween is finally here, and for a lot of kids that means the wigs, of course the costumes, sometimes masks as well, but health officials are sending a word of caution to parents. Action News reporter Noelle Anderson has more.
Ghosts, goblins, and ghouls may be out in full force this Halloween, but another menace might join them: lice. According to the Lice Clinics of America, Halloween can be a peak season for lice as kids share hats, masks, or headbands.
They're spread easier head-to-head, person-to-person contact, but they can be spread by hairbrushes and, you know, anything that you put on your head, like hats and hair bands and things like that.
Stores like Goodwill say it's a policy to check all merchandise for cleanliness to ensure it's not dirty or soiled. And a lot of stores say they like to keep their products in bags to help prevent the spread of lice.
I haven't seen an issue with it yet. Most of our things come in packages, so it's all pretty kept safe. We'll mention something depending on what it is. We'll just let them know, you know, this has been tried on, most likely, just a precaution for you.
But there's a solution should you or your child happen to catch the tiny critters.
They can bring that costume home and put it in a plastic bag for about a week or two, just to give that a chance to clear out. Or if it's dryer safe, they can put it on a high heat dryer for 45 minutes also.
And things to keep an eye out for at the store.
If costumes come in a bag, that would be preferable, an unopened bag. Then you know that no one has tried it on ahead of time.
That one was scary. For much more health news 24 hours a day, just click on our health tab on our website, ksbw.com, or download our mobile app for the latest health news, breaking news, and weather. And there is still much more to come this morning on Action News Sunrise.
But first, let's take a live look outside. Skycam 8 Santa Cruz, and meteorologist Art Jarrett coming back with another check of your morning forecast. Stay with us. We're right back with much more coverage you can count on from KSBW Action News Sunrise.
Now, your KSBW weather forecast with meteorologist Art Jarrett.
Well, good morning to you. This is what I have to start you off with. We have cloudy conditions right now, but you can see they're starting to clear out a little bit by Point Reyes. We have winds coming out of the northwest right now, and they're trying to dry out. They're very dry wind, kind of clearing out some of this cloud cover as we go along with an area of low pressure to our southeast, and that is dragging a lot of this cloud cover away from us. You can see how everything's kind of just moving that way to the southeast. Mild conditions are expected today. With this continuing on, I've warmed us up for 2 to 4 degrees expected. Eventually we'll get into the sunshine for most locations. You're going to see once we get into the afternoon hours, we're going to eventually get into some clearing getting into the Santa Cruz Mountains. You can see it right here popping open for you down to the beaches. We're all hoping for a little sunshine in the Monterey area as well, getting to Point Pinos. Eventually by the time we get in the late afternoon, evening hours, you get that nice little break of some cloud cover coming in. And then we're going to see the winds coming out of the southwest as well, getting into the west of the Monterey Bay. Variable winds coming all over the place today. So we'll be a bit breezy and cool once we get into the evening hours for your Halloween. Still some sunshine, and I should say sun Well, some good looking, we'll still hold on to the sun, but we'll see some clearing getting up in the Santa Cruz area as well as Santa Clara Valley, working down into Salinas. We're going to see some patchy fog moving in. So we'll call it clear to partly cloudy skies, getting into some clearing as we go along tonight as well. So eventually we're going to see cooler conditions in the overnight hours. 60s today, all the way from San Francisco, getting down into Mountain View. We're going to pick up the temperatures holding on in the 70s for San Jose, around 68 for Gilroy, 69 in Hollister. Then once you get into the Salinas Valley, we'll get in the upper 60s to around 70 degrees, getting down into Greenfield and King City. Clear to partly cloudy skies expected for you there. We'll get into the mid 60s on Carmel by the sea, all the way into Carmel Valley, a little bit warmer to 69 degrees. Along the beaches from Point Pinos, getting into 63 degrees, all the way to 65 by Marina. So temperatures holding on to just below normal once you get down into areas like Santa Cruz and in fact, up in Ben Lomond, you're going to see temperatures 67 degrees to 68. So it's going to be a nice looking day, but not warm, not overly warm. So you're going to have to bundle up the kiddos with a sweater. Tonight we'll have clear to partly cloudy skies, getting into cooler conditions in the overnight hours with temperatures 45 to 50. Once you get into the KSBW 8-day forecast, you'll see tomorrow a couple of degrees of warming again, and then we're going to see partly cloudy skies for Thursday, loading those clouds up at night, bringing in rainfall chances through Friday into Saturday and Sunday, and that should last to early Monday as well. Here's a look at the overnight temperatures and the cloud cover to ensue. And just remember, by Sunday we do have daylight saving time moving in, and that comes to effect for us at 11 p.m.